Good morning, YouTubers. Just left the Walmart, bought myself a nice Great White North Canadian hat. Nice and insulated. It even has a little chin strip here to keep my head nice and warm. And I got mittens. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the difference. Let me taste my coffee here, cool down. It was too hot. To give you a little story about mittens. And this is very important. It can save your life one day. You save your fingers one day. Mittens are better than gloves because your fingers are together and they stay warm. If you have individual fingers, you'll notice that your fingers will start to freeze faster if they're separated from each other. But it is what it is. We're not going to argue that in the comments today. But what we're going to argue is what is happening everywhere. Now, before you guys all freak out, the housing market is looking really bad really fast, okay? So let's start with Vancouver. Vancouver right now is still sitting at 11.9% in decline right now from its peak in 2007. So anyone that bought in that time, even I would say 6 months before the peak, right now got a haircut. They're underwater. Unless they put down 50%. Don't get me wrong, not every homeowners that bought around that time. If you bought free and clear, you put down 50%, then that's fine. You just lost a bit of paper wealth on paper is what you did. So you don't have to worry too much because you put a big down payment. But what I'm concerned is the people that took money from their houses, the equity they had in there, to basically fund their keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle. That's what happened. So right now in Vancouver, they're experiencing a glut of condos on the market. Right now they have an oversupply on the market of condos, homes, and everything. It got so bad, the FOMO people got so bad that a lot of them left. A lot of them jumped on the condos and the townhouse market because they didn't want for the fear of missing out, because they couldn't afford a detached. So what happens is condo market goes for another year or 8 months through the roof until things start to come down to earth. Now with the stress testing and the rumors of raising interest rates again, it does not look good for the city of Vancouver. Burnaby. Surrey looks like it's kind of holding its own, but it's going to start falling really soon. But a lot of Surrey, British Columbia, is old money. So it's a lot of people that invested in it, and had houses paid off already to buy their second investment and third investment home. So they had a lot of equity to do that kind of stuff, right? So Surrey's a bit older money. Unlike Vancouver, where it's a lot of foreign investing, where a majority of it is just foreign investing. And I feel sorry for the people in Vancouver that had to keep up with the Joneses, and go to the parties and say, I own a house! Yeah! And that same house in Atlanta is 70 grand! Yeah! But anyways, now let's shift over east to Toronto. Toronto is in a huge glut too, with a massive oversupply. And they're down, the peak, they're down a lot. They're down, some parts are down 40% since the peak in 2007, like Richmond Hill. Parts like Barrie right now. I just spoke to Mario DeCettis last night on Mike in the Night. He's telling me they're taking a major hit. That there's even condo developers that are offering 2 years they pay your mortgage. They pay your mortgage for 2 years now. That's huge. It's not huge because it's a front-loaded mortgage. You're still going to owe the same amount of money anyway. You got to pay that more. You got to pay that puppy down for 15 years if you want to put a dent in it, right? Anyways, so that's what's happening there. Toronto GTA right now, oversupply, lots of glut, lots of condos, and a lot of pre-builts coming. There's about 233 projects that are settled to finish in 2019. So you got to be very careful with that because you're throwing more on the market. And then you have the affordable housing market where they're building more affordable housing. Madonna mia, like this. Hey, the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It's looking really bad. Now let's shift down to New York State. New York, it saw somewhat of a mass exodus on the tail end of 2017. It's into 2018. A lot of people leaving Massachusetts and a lot of people leaving New York State, heading south to warmer weather and cheaper housing. New York has had severe affordability issues. They have 90 to 95,000 roughly investment units where they're just empty, non-vacant units that are just there's nobody there. And you head down to Florida, they're still taking a bit of a dip in price correction there in the state of Florida. And then we head out to Texas. Right now, there's parts of Texas. Oh, what was that city? Oh, I mentioned it a few times. It's not the ones we usually mention for Texas. But right now, there's a city in northeast Texas that's doing really well. And everybody's moving there. And it's on fire. And it's the place to be. Oh, God, what's it called again? Put it in the comments below if you remember that video I made about that city in Texas that's just on fire right now. A lot of Californians left. A lot of Portlandonians left. A lot of Seattleites left. They're all moving somewhere. They're heading eastbound and down. Okay, what else is going on, people? Let's move over to Seattle. Overglut on the market. Seattle seeing a major correction right now. The cost of living skyrocketing. You got Google that's forking over $500 million to free up affordable housing. I don't believe anything Google does, or YouTube, or thing. And what else? Got quite a few things actually to cover. Portland right now seeing sharp declines, about 6% now. California, parts of California, it's hit and miss. Some parts are down 8% from the peak in 2007, 2008. Some parts had peaks in 2008. San Jose had a peak in 2008, and now they're seeing a reversal of 2%. You're seeing a reversal in San Diego, just in and around 6%, and you're seeing a reversal in Alameda counties are starting to see reversals. Beverly Hills and Hollywood Hills look like they're staying solid, no movement, very stagnant in the Hollywood Hills and in Hollywood area. Okay, what else is going on in America? Yeah, just a mass exodus of Californians continue to push. 6 million people left California in the last 6 years. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. People are looking at places like Reno, Nevada, which there's a lot of movement in the state of Nevada. I told you guys about Nevada and what's happening with people moving east into the interior of the United States for better affordability levels. And they're finding it, but a lot of the locals aren't liking it. You should see Walking Journey. He made a video about that, how he doesn't like Californians in his state. And, okay, what else we got going on? Let's flip over to the UK. UK still. London, it's getting hot, guys. London, England is getting to a point where England is looking to lower mortgage rates again to start stimulating the market. The city of London's been on a decline now for the last, I don't know, 2.5 years. It hasn't gone anywhere. Affordability's still not there. They started doing that supply and demand. Let's do supply and demand, build more. The Mayor Khan at the time was saying, yeah, let's get more buildings, more affordable. Let's rip up the green space. Let's build, build, build. And that, no, when you're sitting on 78,000 empty units, investor owned, forget it. Let's move north to Ireland. Dublin, again, seeing more protests over the weekend, even in the chilly weather of housing. And people are asking for free housing in Dublin. They're asking for fair market housing. That's all they're asking for. And people shouldn't be paying 300-400 euros a week to sleep on someone's couch. So that's what's happening there in Dublin. I salute the people in Ireland for being strong about this and taking to the streets. Scotland, Edinburgh right now, seeing high on fire. Edinburgh on fire, seeing a mass influx of foreign investing in the last 3 to 4 months. Same thing with Belfast, Northern Ireland, is seeing huge spikes in growth due to foreign investing that's coming in. Lots of foreign investing, actually, in Belfast, believe it or not. Okay, then let's head over now to Australia. Sydney, sharp reversals. Everyone's still leaving. The mass exodus. A lot of the politicians thought a lot of people would stay in the city once there was a reversal in prices, and people are still leaving. My goodness. And Canberra, I hope I said that right. Everyone gets mad at me when I say it wrong. Is seeing increases where it's now become more expensive than Sydney, because like I said, a lot of people relocated and they start misinflating and creating artificial bubbles, because more of influx of intermigration of the Australian proper leaving Sydney, and now the Australian proper leaving Melbourne, and then now Canberra is seeing spikes, and then you got other places like Hobart seeing spikes. Perth is pretty flat still in the Perthlandia, if you're out there. My friend Sam, who was on the show last night on Mike of the Night, lives north of Perth. He was on the show, and it was super hot there. Well, it wasn't super hot, it was warm. What else is going on? Oh, and the Royal Commission is going to be releasing its report this week, the Royal Commission in Australia. Australia, if you've been under a rock for the last, I don't know, a year and a half, the Royal Commission was put into place to kind of investigate the banks and bad malpractices. So this week, I'll keep you guys up to date. I'll get maybe a couple of people on the show from Australia, so we can cover what's happening with that whole fiasco there. Very important to find out how many banks and what the banks have been up to. And they just scratched the surface of what these damn banks are doing. Playing with people's futures and ruining people's lives is what they're doing. Ruining your entire life. They should pass a law, because if people bought within a certain time, they should be able to default on their mortgage if they choose to. They should be able to hand in their keys and let the bank figure it out. If the bank puts you in a position and the bank knew you were going to default, the bank knows when you're going to default. They know. But there should be a law put into place. If you bought within a certain time, you should be able to default and walk away. Same thing in London. Same thing in parts of Canada. But what else have we got going on, people? My people. Okay, New Zealand. Okay, well, and seeing a bit of increases. Christchurch is turning into an absolute ghost city in Christchurch right now. A lot of projects have finished, and there's just everything's empty. Like, there's not a lot of vacancy in Christchurch. A lot of people left. There's a lot of these road townhomes that were finished, and no one's moving in. And we don't know if it's foreign invested. We're not sure. But New Zealand passed the foreign buyers ban. 4 months or 5 months, October, November, December, January, February. For 5 months, it's already down 20%. Woo! It's down 20%. Can you believe that? That project, whoa, they said, you know, Jacinta, the president there, or the prime minister, she got voted in, and Phil Tyford is the housing minister, and they said, you know, let's ban foreign buyers, you know? I mean, let's look at the bright side. I mean, if we go to other people's countries, we can't buy, you know? Like myself, I tried to buy in Mexico twice. They told me, they laughed at me. They go, you're a foreigner, you can't buy in Mexico. But I'm like, what about all these expats and all these people they don't really own anything. They have all these stipulations that if they pass away, if they have a Mexican wife, if they get a divorce, the wife gets it, the husband can't have anything. He can't leave in the will, like, property to somebody that's not a Mexican. Like, it's so much. So if you think you own in Mexico, get a lawyer down in Mexico and find out. I got a lawyer in Guadalajara. Anyways, what else is happening? Yeah, so New Zealand is taking the right step forward, but is it too little, too late? Now, with the capital outflows, restricted capital outflows leaving China, it's looking like it's going to be hard for people to get their money out, and their markets don't look too stable right now. Their stock market's been a yo-yo. It's been up, 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 yeah, jump in, time the market, and then down, 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 down even more. And then like the last week we had with oil, up, 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 and then bam, bam, bam. And then, you know what? It's not going to fly like that, guys. It won't fly like that. Anyways, I've actually parked outside the building I want to buy. Down the street from my store. It's closed. It's a food bank. And I'm just reminiscing on it. Hoping I could get this baby. And then I'll give the food bank wants a bigger location. They've been wanting to move out. So I spoke to the manager there, which is good. Because I don't want to evict the food bank. But it is a business move. But no, I still wouldn't evict the food bank. But on a good note, is they're looking for a big place. And they know that I put an offer on it this week. Hopefully the owner can have some compassion on it and sell it what it's actually worth, so I could move in. And people are saying, why are you buying a place when everything's crashing? Well, I got a solid business. I've had it since many ups and downs in the economy for 13 years, and it's my original one. And I've brought my skills here to this town, and it's been working really well. I'm bringing a lot of out-of-towners in, and it's we're in the middle of winter, and I'm getting people driving from far away to come and see me here in bad weather. So imagine what this summer is going to bring. So I might be at the original location this summer, because this place, I'm going to start a whole new video series renovating and buying my own commercial building. Very excited. There's other ones here for sale on the strip. Some of them are a bit too big. Some of them are okay. There's a couple of them I see here that I could use, but some of them are just enormous. So, way too big. But the price is not expensive, right? That's why, right? A lot of people, there's people coming to see this building, the one that I'm buying. They have to show the building this Saturday, but unless they have a solid business plan, especially with the food bank moving out, and you don't have a tenant in there, you'll have a really tough time keeping that place going. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have proper constituent in there or movement in there. There's another building here that's for sale. It's partially built, all the cinder blocks up and the foundations down, and all it needs is a roof. I looked at that one too. So I got many options here in this city, many options in this city, and hopefully things go well for me and my family. And like I said, it's not much money, and if I could pull 60 to 70,000, 80,000 a year in sales, it's not bad for me, because all I have to pay for the building there is the property tax, which is very minuscule, and the electricity, and then the rest is pretty much and the product, and then the rest, it's very, very flexible. So then I own a building, and then I have a little appreciation over the next 10, 15 years that I do this. And I'll have a nice location for when you guys come to visit me. I get a lot of people visiting from the coast, and people visiting from out of the country that are actually going up into the interior to go skiing. And they come and see me at my store. And they're like, yeah, I'm from Adelaide, and I watch your show. Yeah, I'm from Perth, and Mike, I've been watching you for 2 years now. It's like, I'm so happy that I came to meet you. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's really good. I'm liking it. So I'll have a nice place for all you guys to come and visit. Maybe we could have maybe if I'm in that place in the fall and the weather's still good, we should have a union meeting, like a unification meeting where everybody meets up. I hope I can get Peter down here. Peter from Sydney. He's going to help me renovate. I'll get him to work. He could help roll some of the walls, maybe sand a little bit of the plaster. Maybe help yank some of that carpet off the floor. Maybe help so many things we could, he could help it doing. Steve the plumber said he might come himself too. Maybe he could check the plumbing and the heating in my building to make sure it's all efficient and ready to go. What else? I'm going to get an inspection on the building, no problem. But I'm saying it's good to have a second opinion from someone that's your friend, right? And what else? I could get Owen here to help me set up a bunch of pot lighting. Owen's a nice guy. I like Owen. Get Owen here, maybe this summer or late fall when I move into the building. Yeah, it's February now. I put in an offer February. We're in February. hopefully signing papers by March, and then yeah, signing papers by maybe by late February, early March, and then hopefully April, May, June. I move in July. I move into the store in July. Latest August. No, July I hope I take possession. 3 months notice. July I take possession and start painting and renovating and cleaning up and throwing out garbage and blah blah blah, and a lot of trips to the dump, lots of carpet to dump. Luckily I got the minivan, so it's gonna be good. So keep following me, guys. I always find a way to make it, guys, no matter what. I always with my feet on the ground, always finding a way to make it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, for taking the time to watch my channel and see what we got going down here. I'm gonna be burning a lot of wood today. It's so cold. A lot of wood. I got the fireplace cleaned out this morning. Lots of wood. Where are my mittens? Yeah, my mittens. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.